One of the most anticipated games that hasn't been announced yet for Nintendo Switch is Pokemon. All we know about the next Pokemon game is that Game Freak is in the works on a core Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch, and that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were the last Pokemon games to be on the 3DS. However, with the power of the internet, information for the next Pokemon game may have already been leaked. My name's Shamushku, and today I'm going to be talking about the recent leaks that are sounding like they could be true and my thoughts on them. Before I start this video, I do want to warn any viewers that may be trying to keep spoiler free from this game that this video will be mentioning the names of the games and the leaks, so be warned before you watch this video. Alright, so let's get into these leaks. So last week, all over the internet, possible information on what the first Pokemon games on the Switch will be called and how we play were leaked. There will be two Pokemon titles still, being Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. These games are going to be remakes of Pokemon Yellow, with Pikachu and Eevee as the themes. Red and Blue will play a role in the game, with you and your rival being new trainers. Following Pokemon Return, HMs are replaced with Pokéride from Aloha, and there will be an online hub for players. Some of the most interesting rumors to me are that there will be some sort of Pokemon Go integration. Catching Pokemon works like it does in Pokemon Go. There will be rewards for both the main game and Pokemon Go, linking the games together. And finally, there will be a new accessory that can be used to bring Pokemon Go and the main games connected, with the final leak being that the announcement will come soon. Emily Rogers and some other known leakers are currently backing up these leaks, with Emily also saying that we should have the announcement before the end of May. One of the most interesting things that happened the day after these leaks were announced on the internet is that the domain for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee were trademarked by the company that deals with Nintendo's websites, which also could show that these might be real and that Nintendo is preparing for announcement really soon. I do think that if this is going to be announced, it would happen sometime before E3. I know the rumor was that it would happen by the end of May, but E3 is coming up, so this could be something safe for E3. But Pokemon games usually aren't talked about at E3 too much, so I think we might get them by the end of May if this all comes in together as one and is true. The interesting thing about all these leaks are that Pokemon likes to tease their upcoming games in some way. Sun and Moon were teased on Twitter by some Pokemon developers of a picture of the sun and a picture of the moon and stuff like that, and other things have been teased in the past. Now, for the past year, we have been getting merchandise added to the store and little tweets with pictures of Pikachu and Eevee plushies and everything in them, which could show that Pikachu and Eevee are these two main focuses, but people may have ignored them because Pikachu and Eevee are somewhat big Pokemon in the franchise. Eevee just is known by its cuteness, and Pikachu is just the main character in the franchise. So we're getting all these tweets with Pikachu and Eevee, and earlier this year, in February, if I'm not mistaken, a video was posted online of a person in a Pikachu costume and an Eevee costume walking around, which also could show this leak as well as teased before we even knew this was going to happen and even thought of. So what are my thoughts on all these leaks? Well, I know this is probably an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people are tired of Gen 1 and the Gen 1 region and everything, but I've always been a fan of the idea of Gen 1 or Yellow being remade. See, these games are so old now, and I know we got remakes and Fire Red Leaf Green and Heart Gold Soul Silver made a return and everything, but Pokemon has changed so much with graphics and the concept of the game, of what I mean by like mechanics and stuff like that, so much since the original games. I think it might be fun to be able to revisit this area just to see how much has changed. Now, because the remakes, they always do change some things up. It's always the most modern thing with remakes. So, with that being done, this is a great way to take a remake, change it up a little bit, and still have it be what we know and we love. Now, I'm not a Gen 1er, don't get me wrong. So, I'm not like, Gen 1's the best, Gen 1's the best. Gen 1's not my favorite generation. But at the same time, I do think, as I said, it would be cool just to be able to revisit Gen 1 and see where we pretty much came from in Pokemon all these years later. Now, Pikachu and Eevee, as I said earlier in the video, these are kind of the main Pokemon in the series, so I'm not too surprised that these two are the main focus in the versions of this game. And Red and Blue, being coming back is going to be interesting. Now, there was a rumor that, I don't know if it was debunked or something like that, that this is going to take place 100 years later, so flashbacks. But that'd be an interesting concept as well. And this can actually continue the story of Sun and Moon as well because of how the game ended. So it works a little bit somewhat. I'm glad to see HMs are not coming back and we're still going to have PokeRide. The online player seems interesting. The online player hub, I mean, seems interesting. But following Pokemon Return, that's another good thing because that's one of the main things that people have been hoping for Pokemon games since we originally had this in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, excluding Yellow because it was just Pikachu who could follow you. The Pokemon Go concept is kind of interesting to me just because how that's going to work, we'll have to see. You know, obviously we can't just like flick the ball at the screen if we're playing in docked mode. Handheld mode will work perfect for that. But it'll be interesting to see the concept of that. Maybe it'll be optional, like in a little optional feature you can do. Just curious to see how they can interact together. Like, would you be able to transfer Pokemon from one to another or vice versa? Who knows? We'll have to see for more information on that as well. And the new accessory that combines the two games together, that's a little interesting too, because it reminds me a little bit of the Pokewalkers, kind of, back in the day of the Gen 2 remakes. But at the same time, we do have the Pokemon Go Plus, which also is another thing. So is it going to be another addition that we have to carry around with us? We'll have to see and we'll have to wait. But I'm hyped for this, honestly, and I'm hoping that we do get an announcement really, really soon that and all these are true because this sounds like it could be a fun Pokemon game. Would it be Gen 8? Not too sure. But it's still going to be interesting to see overall. And with E3 coming up, these rumors are going crazy, and we just got to see, honestly, where everything goes. Leave a comment down below in the comment section what you think of all this because I'm interested to see what other people say, especially with the fact that we're getting Gen 1 again as like remakes or reimaginings, kind of retellings. I mean, I'm kind of curious where people come from that because I know, as I said, Gen 1 isn't something that a lot of people are fans of just because we see Gen 1 so much. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing for all your gaming news and more. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Thanks for watching.